What truly scares you? Serious, not safe for work. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Cancer. Watched my dad die a slow, painful death from that crap. Scares the absolute hell out of me. And this is really silly, but being home alone and sitting, watching or doing something at night when the curtains aren't drawn, I can't see anything out, but something could see in. I live in the middle of nowhere, so the idea someone could just be watching me with such ease scares the living shit out of me. Loneliness. Not the I have no partner kind of loneliness, but the kind of loneliness where I'm old and have nobody to talk to rely on, to call or to see. No family, no friends, no ancient colleagues, and wondering at which point in my life it all went wrong so much that it led me to this lonely hell. The passage of time. Every second that goes by won't ever come back, and I'm slowly crumbling to dust as approximately half my life is gone, and I've become asymptomatic to the dreams I had in the past while I sit waiting to be undone by forces beyond my control. Losing one of my kids. I honestly don't know what I would do if one of them got sick or was in an accident. I can't sleep or have nightmares about it all the time. I'm not mentally prepared to accept my friends and family members dying one day. I just have no idea how I'll continue living with my loved ones who literally raised me, especially my mom and dad. The knowing I am alone and I don't have the courage to actually do something for my good. I don't wanna, and it scares me to even try to figure out why. The concept of Alzheimer's, forgetting everything you have ever experienced since you have ever existed and not even knowing it. Waking up in a padded cell one day, realizing that everything I knew was a figment of my own imagination, nothing I knew could be trusted, and my own mind is working against me. Being paralyzed, having my movements restricted, being buried alive. I have severe ADHD, so I constantly have to fidget to remain cool and to calm me down. So the idea of not being able to use parts of my body kind of overloads my brain and sometimes sends me into small anxiety attacks. The worst part of the idea of not being able to use my arms or control any of my movements is that I couldn't even have the power to end my own life, and I would have to suffer with it for years. I've had a dream for as long as I can remember. I've wanted the same thing for over 24 years. No matter how much I struggle or skimp and save, I just cannot catch a break and achieve it. I want a small house with some land in a rural area. I worked hard to get the money saved up to get there, but I've been so hard countered by life and the RNG bullshit that I'm close to giving up. So my fear is that no matter what I do, I'll end up abandoning my dreams in raw desperation. It is a special feeling when you're so poor, it costs too much to live month to month for you to save money. Amen. Waking up in a morgue. I have a condition where you collapse and then people think you're dead, so they take your body away. Then hours later, you wake up alive in a morgue. Dying alone. I'm constantly worried and I feel the pressure of meeting someone, getting married and starting a family. I'm only 30 and single, but this thought scares the living hell out of me. That I might be irrevocably damaged, and it doesn't matter how much work I will put in, I will never understand normal human beings. My deepest fear is of one day accidentally or negligently killing someone. Every time it comes up in the news, I fall down this horrible empathy hole where I try to imagine living with the knowledge and guilt about what I've done for the rest of my life, and I really don't think I could handle it. I'm scared of driving because I don't think I'm confident or skilled enough to operate a machine that could kill someone so easily. Being raped. It freaks the shit out of me. I live in Brazil, and rape here is something completely ignored, to the point where victims have the literal semen of rapists inside them. Doctors run the tests, they confirm the identity of the guy, and he doesn't get arrested. It's a real struggle to get some justice here. So the fear I have of the physical pain of being raped, the emotional pain, then later the humiliation of probably not being able to get any justice, just scares me. Death. The idea that I will one day just cease to exist and that there will be nothingness for the rest of eternity is just a frightening thought. Death. I completely understand that life is finite and has an end without exception, and I never thought about it before I was sent to fight in Afghanistan. It actually didn't hit me until my third combat deployment, but ever since then, I have this non-stop fear of death that eats away at me every single day. I worry about death so much now that I'm barely able to live my life. It's like death is already won. Aneurysms. No warning signs, no symptoms. You're just going about your life and then bam, lights out. It's terrifying to realize your life can just end in the time between two heartbeats. Loud noises like fireworks and thunder. My reasoning is actually kind of sound. I have these asshole neighbors who like to set off fireworks in their backyard, and one day when I was outside feeding my animals, horses, dogs, and chickens, they set some fireworks off, and one seemed to be defective or something, because it came in my direction and literally exploded like 10 feet above me. I don't know what kind of fucking fireworks they were using or if they were normal, but that shit had me feeling dizzy and my ears were ringing and in pain, so hearing loud noises just makes me anxious now. Having a girlfriend or whoever I end up marrying die on me randomly, like a freak accident or something. Like the thoughts of getting that phone call, text, or the cop at my door saying she's gone scares the ever-living shit out of me. What truly scares me is sleep paralysis. Jesus titty fucking Christ, have they gotten worse as I got older. Used to be just being awake, but not being able to move. Then I heard voices over thunderstorms. Now it's shadow figures in the corner. What's next? Freddy Krueger forcing his way through my ceiling? The possibility of World War III. I've always been interested in military and conflict history. The way things are going with China, it's not looking good. I live in Australia, and although we have a solid deal with the USA, ANZUS Treaty, if either one of us is attacked or threatened, then basically by law the other has to jump in. And other countries. This conflict would be absolutely devastating. It would dwarf World War I and World War II with casualties. People view World War II as so long ago. Something like that would never happen again. Well, it wasn't that long ago, and that's exactly what the world thought after World War I. As soon as China invades or attacks Taiwan, it's on. How far the conflict would go is anyone's guess. My guess is Russia would jump in for sure for economic and strategic reasons. Our military is tiny. 58,000 deployable troops across all three branches, Army, Navy, Air Force, and we don't have a sufficient defense against air attack or invasion. No one's armed here either. This truly scares me because number one, it could happen, and number two, the most precious thing to me is my 9-month-old daughter. So the future is more important to me than ever. The only way out is a mutual destruction conclusion from both sides, similar to the Cold War. However, I think China is extremely confident and will only continue to grow even more so. The concept of an eternity and lack of consciousness, aka what comes after death. I'm not afraid of dying. If I die for a reason. I'll accept my fate, whatever it may be. But what scares me is death. We have no clue what truly lies beyond, if it's nothing or everything. The concept that at some point I, the one thinking this up and writing about it, not the physical body and mind, but more than that, could just stop existing terrifies me. More than that is an eternity. I'm not constantly in fear every day because I know I will die. I know that my life will culminate into one thing, but with an eternity, the idea that it won't end is what scares me. I don't know if there's an afterlife, and I don't know which one I'd go to if there are multiple. The only two I want are infinite reincarnations at any time period, or to just become a bodiless entity that can roam the universe and pause time, except from its perspective at will. But that eternity and the possibilities of what comes after death is what truly scares me. I have all the normal fears, like fear of the unknown and things like that, but really scares me is having knowledge that I forgot something really important about myself and the people I love, Alzheimer's or dementia, or going insane. I also have a fear of hurting someone because of the choices I made. The next 50 years. Climate change is only going to get worse because there are so many powerful corporations that have a vested, short-term interest in continuing to cause it. I'm terrified that our world and our civilization are going to suffer tremendous changes that many people will be unable to adapt to. I want to be able to have children and trust that they will be safe and have the opportunity to prosper. The way things are sliding downhill, I don't think that's going to be the case. My kids may die in a famine or a heat wave or a civil war. Hell, the way our political system is dividing us, I might die in a civil war before I ever have kids.